Hello, I am Bob Ross, and I'd like to welcome you to the first pixel art background painting tutorial. Drawing pixels is not much harder than painting with actual paint. And accidentally creating jaggies or apply gradients the wrong way? No problem. It is all parts of the process. I can tell you there are no sad pixels, only happy pixels. Everyone can do this.
Hey everyone! Today I want to walk you through how I create classic LucasArts style rooms and backgrounds. The kind you'd see in games like The Secret of Monkey Island or Day of the Tentacle. This isn't just about making pretty pixel art. It's about designing spaces that serve gameplay, storytelling, and atmosphere all at the same time. So let's start at the beginning, determining which rooms to make and do a lot of research on the story they are going to convey. A part of the story and some puzzles in my Mac Marcus game revolves around a certain tea lady that was employed in Bletchleypark. She is called Tilly Wine and is in control of a trolley filled with teacups. Well, she needs a place to serve out the Earl Grey tea and bring it to the scientists and inventors.
All right, Pimp Pixel, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Engage.
So, I was looking for some reference pictures I found on the internet. The rooms in Bletchleypark look amazing, and they are chock full of detail. The reference shown here is one of the rooms I've already adapted for a character, Commander Dennison. This is the room where he led the code-breaking operation, and he is also featured as a character. Let's see this room in a cutscene that will be part of the game.
Oh, Commander Dennison, I've got a young person for you. He's calling himself McMarcus Barry. Of course, McMarcus Barry. I know his father rather well, actually. Let him in, please. Ah, well, son. Welcome to Bletchleypark.
Eventually I chose this one because it would be a typical area where a lot of people meet and interact. Ideal for someone who needs to bring tea around. My personal favorite pixel art tool is called Pixaki. This tool allows me to add a layer with this reference image. The workflow in this tutorial shows you how I approach the task of getting from a high detailed image to a human manageable pixel art room. I start by tracing rough lines, rectangular shapes, and circles to get a start on the room. If you are new to this, I recommend you start with buildings or interior rooms. Organic forms like bushes, rocks, trees, sand, and dunes are very hard to do. I am using Pixaki as pixeling tool. But whatever tool you use, almost every tool has a primitive shape toolbox. With those tools, you can draw the lines, rectangles, and circles almost perfectly. Don't go overboard with this though, because the purpose is only to get a rough outline and will be used to block out the room. Let's see if this room suits the tea lady. Nice. That looks quite okay. The relative size of the character fits the height of the room. Okay, the exit at the right part of the room deviates a bit from the left, but the ceiling is not and will definitely be mirrored. Just lasso the bit you want the mirror, and there you go. The whole ceiling is there now. It is very tempting to go on until the whole room is finished. But it is adamant that you test out the room as soon as you can have something your character can walk into. I have made this mistake many, many times and had to redo the pixel art all too often. What I also recommend is to keep the amount of pixels as low as you can. Even with all the tools at your disposal, it will be very hard to manage all these pixels. And if you're looking for that LucasArts look and feel, then choose 320 by 200 or 320 by 240. Naturally, the horizontal size should scale for larger rooms that scroll when approaching the edges. Lastly, to have less work on the animation on my characters, 32 by 64 is their maximum width and height. Remember, restricting canvas, restricting colors, and working in 2 dimensions instead of 3 is a good thing.
Oh, but what about the tea lady? I am so curious about her finest china.
It is time to start coloring the room. Toggle the reference and start painting from your memory. This forces you to think in terms of lights and shadows. I am starting with the wood paneling, as I could copy one of the panels many times over and cover about 20% of the room. Make adjustments, zoom out, and see if the panels have any depth and look natural. So this could serve as a template now to cover some ground quickly. A quick toggle brings back the reference, so I am able to place some creases and start making the heater grill. Okay, let's get back to work so the center wall can be finished. Let's fill in the rest quickly. Try not to get bogged on details just yet. It's missing something. Ah yes, a fire extinguisher. Okay, let's cover some ground quickly. What about the carpet? Let's close up the outline for the carpet just quickly, so the bucket fill tool can do its magic. Okay, here goes the bucket tool. Oh, oops.
Remember, there are only happy accidents.
Okay, I forgot a few pixels along the way. Let's close them up. I am filling up the carpet area inside the outline layer with a color sourced from the reference. But I would really like to have the carpet area on its own layer. Whatever tool you have, look for the Select by Color tool and use the color as a selection you can fill on another layer. Problem solved. It would be nice if the tool did not assume the selection should be centered, but no tool is perfect. I hadn't paid attention yet to the golden paneling I created earlier. I still need to copy that as well. What I really love is these handles when I zoom in. I don't know if only Pixaki has these, but I can squeeze and extend the selection at will. You could call him Lovehandles. More panels in the left corridor, and that's merely a copying exercise. Work fast and stay sloppy. No need to get stuck in details.
We will have to move fast. Otherwise our superiors will get bored very quickly. So let's speed up the operation.
I've created a wooden pillar template and want to use it to quickly build all the pillars in the room. You could call this kit bashing. Kit bashing is the technique of combining parts from different model kits to create something new. I will do this for all the pillars and the same for the wood segments of the ceiling. Just copying, squashing, and changing some pixels will just do the job and is fast. The front pillars are a bit longer and a bit wider and have a stub at the top. Don't stop to detail each one of them. That can be done later. This is just the blocking out phase. You might want to get rid of those columns. Who knows? The 6 pillars in the front are a bit taller. So with the Lovehandles, this can be achieved quickly. It is nowhere near perfect, but that is not a problem for now. I am taking a rib out of the pillar to create the ceiling's wooden frame piece by piece. First, by making the long pieces first, and then the small bits. Just copy, rotate, stretch, and move to make the horizontal beams. Lasso to remove the excess parts, and voila, a large part of the wooden frame done. Please don't bash my kit bashing technique in the comments. I feel this technique is pretty harmless because later on in the process, you will have a lot more eye to what's really off, or even worse, off-putting. I can remember a fan-made Indiana Jones game called The Fountain of Youth, where I found this stunning room where every pixel is spot on. Lighting is perfect, even better than the original indie games. I am nowhere near that level of perfection, although I am very proud of this room. I'm going to prove that I'm actually a bad artist, but more of a programmer with some artistic skills. Another big time saver is reusing a lot what you already got. Like for instance those curtains. In 2 other rooms, I have made some curtains and drapery. and by replacing a few colors from red to gold, this is light work. I need to remove the top part of the curtain that is covered by a circular shape. To do this, I am using the select by color trick and then use that mask in another layer to subtract that selection. It is a poor man's Boolean operation. Now I will apply my own Midas touch to transfer the limited colors in the curtain to gold. It is also important to track your progress from time to time. So I make a new frame of animation for every big addition to the scene. Not only proves this that this is not created by artificial intelligence, it can also provide a nice GIF to share on Discord or itch.io. And it looks very neat to see the progression on your work. Staying motivated is part of the workflow. For the tulip-shaped chandelier lights, I decided to cheat. I took the original photo, squashed it to 320 by 240, and cut out the ugly and speckled chandelier shape. This is blasphemy for a real pixel artist. But for me, the most important reason to do this was getting a rough shape with the right dimensions. After cleaning up the chandelier lights template a bit, I have cloned this as many times as there are in the reference. Quick and good results. The ceiling was taunting me all week long, as it is the most organic form in the entire room. I decided to go for the scattered pixel solution. That worked out just fine. Cramming those fine plaster details into 320 by 240 won't work. Just look at those crazy details in an ambient occlusion representation of this Bletchleypark corridor. Well, to finish it off, I just loaded the room in all its glory into my game engine and added some characters. It looks great.
All in all, 100% success.
Finally, I decided to wire up the room and test some room interaction and character dialogue.
Tea, Earl Grey, hot.
And I said to Tom Fowler that is, I'm trying to vacuum clean this room, but something is stuck down the tube. Well, he suddenly jumps up and shouts, Mildred, you are a genius. Vacuum tubes, that's it. Mildred, this is fascinating. Fascinating stuff. So this is the way he's trying to build Colossus.
So, time to wrap up this tutorial. This is my personal new way to create a lot of rooms for Mac Marcus and the Ring of Solomon. I am a lot more productive than I used to be, and it definitely beats the AI slop that is really hard to get right. Join me next time to see the second devlog/tutorial, where you can see me make the natural habitat of Queen Sheeba. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video.